What's up, guys? I just want to deliver these messages that I received over the last couple of days. Um, don't put a gender to it. Just just go with it, okay? You get into a relationship, right? And you're excited about the relationship. And I mean, you are you are wanting this person to fill the void of everything that the last person did not fulfill. Red flag number one. Okay. Um, Spirit is saying stop because it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure for that person that you are getting into a relationship with to fill the void of everything that you feel that the last person did not do. It's not fair to your new partner that they have to pay karmic debt for everything that you and your ex went through. Okay? Stop. Channel message number two. Um, you get into a relationship and you are like mine. Okay? You're like you're mine. You guys, we can't take people and possess them like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like a that's like a whole entity. Like and getting upset when the person do not do what it is that you expect for them to do, and not accepting that people are their own individual, and you can either take people as they are at their present moment or allow them to have their space and to free themselves, not making people feel guilty for not being who you want them to be or who you expect them to be. That was channeled message number two. This one, channeled message number three. Emotional manipulation goes both ways. A lot of men take a lot of slack. They get a lot of slack for not being emotionally available. Okay? But you have to understand, that it's easy for a woman because 303. It's easy for a woman to emotionally manipulate a situation too. Okay? Because women are emotional beings, because women um like they could cry on the drop of a dime, some of them, you know what I'm saying, because they can make you feel this level of empathy and sympathy 333 for them. um and some men don't handle or channel their emotions in that way. Some men are more assertive, okay? Hence the Ace of Wands. They're more assertive, okay? And they can be a bit guarded, okay, with their emotions and everything. And the way that they display, like the way that they express emotion is by doing. You know what I'm saying? So, okay, so say you get into a relationship and you guys have a wonderful night, evening, whatever together, okay? And then say that you thought that everything was going great and perfect, but this person starts to ghost you, or this person starts to slack off from you, or whatever. That's because energetically there is something that's not matching that other person's frequency. And a lot of times, there are some people that don't have um, the proper words to communicate their emotions, especially if you are an 80s baby, Because if you are an 80s baby and of African American descent, um, and grew up in, like, I'm not saying like privileged, I'm saying like regular middle class to poverty level or whatever, you were not taught how to express your emotions. You were taught to speak when you were spoken to, speak when spoken to, and you were taught, um speak when you better not talk back, and you better not raise your voice. You better not, you can get slapped in the mouth. I look, all of that. So those conditionings and upbringing or whatever, that carries on into adult life, okay? And then so you don't know how to express the way that you feel. 9 times out of 10, you'll probably hold things back. You know what I'm saying? You'll probably be guarded. You know what I mean? Like you don't know how to effectively communicate your emotions. And I'm saying this because even if you do, like, say you say like the wrong thing by mistake and you just didn't mean it like that or whatever, you run the risk of hurting the other partner. And if that partner don't know how to express themselves, and especially if they are highly emotional, if they're overly emotional, they can start crying, they can throw tantrums, they can try to do blackmail, they can throw old stuff back up in your face, and all. And some people just don't want to deal with that, so they ghost. They start backing up. They start retracting energy and all of that. So decide where you are on that spectrum. And again, spirit is saying, just stop, right? Just stop. What else am I getting? Kids are innocent in this whole situation. I'm also getting this. Um, Kids are innocent in the whole situation. Adults, if you are in a relationship, 717, and you have an issue with another adult, that's between you and the adult. Never use your kids as pawns in order to get the outcome in which you want to achieve. That's manipulative. Okay? Kids are innocent in the whole situation. Don't have your kids in a situation where they have to choose at a very young age. You're forcing them to grow up at a very, very young age. Now, disclaimer, if your partner is abusive, okay, if your partner is physically abusing you, if your partner does not know how to respect boundaries, if your partner is narcissistic, if your 808, if your partner is again abusive, okay, and I'm not using that word lightly. Like you've suffered from abuse in some form of way. I'm not talking about that. I don't feel like anybody should stay in any situation in which they are being abused. And the reason being is because you cannot manifest in that frequency. Okay? And you have to be able to provide for your children. And you cannot provide for your children if you cannot manifest. So that's not what I'm talking about. But if you don't have any evidence of abuse in that way, this is what I'm talking about. Do not use your kids just to get your way. That is manipulative, and it causes long-term effects not only on yourself but also your children, and it's a generational cycle in which they will have to pick up the torch and break. Okay? 80s babies, again, know this to be true. We grew up in the crack era, you know what I'm saying? And our parents were wilding. Okay, so that was that channel message. Let me see. As much as you would love for that person to be a part of your life, as much as you want them to be a part of your life, don't use the kids to achieve your. I found another way to achieve your outcome, preferably speaking and talking about your feelings. You know what I'm saying, to that person, and allowing that person to understand. The whole purpose of communication is understanding. So allow that person to understand your perspective, know where you're coming from, know the goal and the angle that you're trying to achieve, and still allowing a person to have free choice. Don't try to manipulate them into an outcome that you want to achieve. Okay? Like, allow that person to have free choice. If you tell that person, okay, this is what I expect, and this is how I get down, and this is my manual, this is how I operate, or whatever, and the other person say, well, that's not how I get down, that's not how I operate, that may be you, but that's not me. The two of you can either come to a compromise that'll appease both of you, or y'all can accept each other for being the individuals that you are, and it's okay. It's okay. We're not bots. Okay, we're all individuals. 1044. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it. I was picking up. I think that's it, y'all. That's it. 10 of Cups. All right, Ashe. Love y'all.